Hey folks, what's up? It's AJ with Hippie Fertilizing, where we talk about supporting soil biology, keeping things safe for you, your family, your pets, the environment, right? Because if we ain't doing that when it comes to lawn care, well, then we probably really ain't caring about what we're doing to our lawns, right? I was having a thought earlier, okay? Well, the thought is there is a component that is largely overlooked in fertilizing and soil health, the whole nine, right? Can you guess what it is? Carbon. Soil carbon is like the building blocks of life. We're made of carbon, right? Almost so many things on this beautiful earth are carbon based. Carbon is super necessary for functions in soil. It helps everything happen. We talk about carbon footprint sometimes, talk about carbon, being released into the atmosphere and CO2 and all this fun stuff. Well, what about what it does in soil? I'm not going to go too in depth in it right now, but it is something that I wanted to, bring up briefly before I go into depth about it in another video, because it's something that, again, is largely overlooked, right? I always think about what's the importance of the soil per square foot. Lots of land is getting developed, neighborhoods are being built, buildings are being built, roads are being paved, you name it, right? So we're wiping away soil, topsoil, trees, plants, all the above in these urban areas, and we're also releasing tons of carbon into the atmosphere every time we tear open the soil, right? It's a real thing. And I would like to encourage us to think about how we can put some of that carbon back in the soil through carbon sequestration, simply by how we feed our soil, how we feed our plants, and how we treat our lawns, right? Because I truly believe we can make a huge positive impact if we do things together. We make big impacts all over the world all the time, right? So why not have a little hope and faith that we can make a positive impact? But by doing or being able to do that, we have to have sometimes some better knowledge, some better awareness. And I'm not here to say, we all need to drive electric cars and stuff like that, right? I don't even like them personally. But we can make a huge difference with the U.S. lawn being the number one irrigated, fertilized crop in the U.S., and it's considered a crop in some fashions because it is irrigated, it's fertilized, it's treated, it's all these things. What if we focused on adding more carbon to our soil for our lawns, right? Improving, I think CECs, how stuff gets utilized, nutrients and the ionization of minerals and plants and solubility and water the porosity of soil so it can absorb more water and retain moisture, right? So when it dries out, your soil's naturally retaining more moisture so that it's more drought tolerant, right? Well, carbon is a huge key to unlocking the magic of soil biology. It's absolutely incredible. So it's something I want y'all to marinate on, right? Because I do want to go more into depth about carbon. I think it's one of the coolest things. It was brought to my attention the other day by one of my friends. His name is Jason. He owns Healthy Soil Organics, and he's also the provider for some of you guys who buy MicroLife off of Amazon. If you look up Friends with Mercantile, that's his company. So if you are looking up MicroLife products, hey, make sure you're buying them under Friends with Mercantile. And I also have my own stuff. I have Hippie Juice and I have Super Soil Conditioner. Boom and boom. You like my canvases? They look super cool, right? Anyway, and then I had to get that guy because he was cute, and so is that guy. But yeah, seriously, carbon is a really big deal. I do want to go into a more depth video about it soon, but I just want to kind of bring it up. It was on my thoughts because what Jason said was he's talking to these people and You already know there's tons of YouTube videos out there and tons of information on nitrogen and fertilizer and phosphorus and soil pH, right? All this kind of information. But how many of those guys will be like, how do we get carbon back in the soil? I don't hear it very often. And I did start checking out other lawn dudes because, hey, sometimes they have some valuable information, or they give me thoughts that inspire me to like share other valuable information and ask different questions, right? But it being the number one crop in the US, it would definitely be a way to make a huge positive impact if we start asking the question, how do we absorb more carbon with our lawns? Well, that's a dope thought. And also us being here in Houston and wherever you may be, I don't know what your conditions are all the time, but we get droughts and we get floods, and then droughts and then floods, right? Floods and then it dries out. It's nature of the beast here. And with the floods, you know, one of the biggest things we should be concerned about on this Every Square Foot Matters is how much water can we absorb to prevent flooding, right? To improve our infrastructure so that it's not getting overloaded by runoff, and then all the things that just run off into our natural waterways. You know, it's not good, promotes eutrophication, increases bad bacteria in water, especially in the summer. It can wreak havoc. It does wreak havoc in lots of environmental ways. So, you know, kind of want to swing it back to like, we got to ask how to do something different. How do we put carbon in the soil? How do we get more carbon sequestered into the soil? Well, here's a cool thing, all right, that I do happen to know off the top of my head, is when you increase photosynthesis, all right, and plants take carbon dioxide out of the air and push it down in carbon glues into the soil, right? So we can pump carbon into the soil through making sure our plants are super freaking healthy. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that. Check out hippiefertilizing.com. Check out some super soil conditioner. Check out some hippie juice. Say hello to Lenny. And y'all have a super groovy day. Thank you. Peace.